Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Supreme Commander 2. Yes, I know it's been a while since I uploaded. I do apologize. I've been quite busy. However, in the meantime, I have a pretty good-looking replay for you. This is not a pros match. This is a Joe's match, as it were. We have... I'll go ahead and play so they can get their build orders in order here. Get your build orders in order. Wow. Been a minute. In the blue Cybran, we have Midnight 69. He's going to go for a double air opener here. And facing him, we have Red Galaxy in the red UEF. Go figure. And he is going to go for double, make that triple land opener here. Playing on the map Desolatia. Desolatia? Is that how you say it? It's pretty close. Desolatia. It's supposed to be desolate, so maybe it's Desolatia. Anyway, pretty small 1v1 map, but it's got plenty of room for expansion. I say it's pretty small. Maybe it's actually more like mid-sized. I mean, there is quite a bit of room here, different openings into the base. We have these main assault points. A lot of the times, as you see, a lot of action out here in the middle of this map, right here. And then eventually you'll see flanking maneuvers coming in all the way around from these sides here. So what we should see in theory is red attempting to expand all the way into the south. Blue is going to attempt to expand into the north. I do not watch these replays all the way through, so I don't know what's happened. Going to happen, I should say. But I do load them in for a minute just to make sure that they've loaded correctly and that the files aren't corrupted or anything like that. And I know for a fact we are going to see some pretty nice action happening quite quickly here in the middle. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit and get into that. So blue is going to just double pump these Gemini fighter bombers out of the Cybran factories here, and he's going to go straight for it. I'd love to see what he researched, but if I had to guess, he's probably going to get health and damage on his fighters and then eventually work towards shields, maybe. But I could be wrong. He could have gone into the structure upgrades, perhaps. It's also not a bad call here. UEF, he's pretty clear to see what he's done. He's all his investment into his land army. Triple land, neither player getting any research facilities up. Both players expanding quickly on double engineers, getting mass extractors up. We have P-shields, tanks, and meteor missile launchers coming out here. Now, these first few barrages are going to be absorbed by the P-shields, but there is no anti-air out here to deal with these Geminis. So for now, Midnight, our Cybran commander here in the blue, is going to be pretty uncontested in dealing with these red UEF land forces, and he's going to go ahead and take that opportunity to snipe some engineers. In the meantime, red is going to start pumping out these Arcanists. They're going to get the mobile anti-air out. Arcanist, as a whole, kind of weak. Not the best anti-air in the world, but when supported by these P-shields, they are pretty hard to put down because they are so cheap. You can get them up in pretty quick numbers. A second engineer snipe going to be shutting down any expansion efforts here for the red UEF commander, Red Galaxy. Midnight expanding pretty freely here, so he's already got, what's that, a 3-mass lead? He's got all of the starting mass here. Yeah, 4-mass. Looks like more like a 4-mass lead here on red. However, that being said, red is up in blue's business right now, and blue has nothing to stop these land forces, really. I mean, these bombers, sure, they're going to get some good hits off, but bombers are going to take a while to put all of these land forces down, so long as these P-shields keep coming out. Arcanist's going to come out now as well and do excellent support work. Going to start shutting these guys down just a little bit. The bombers are killing them quickly, but there are new units being produced as fast as they're being killed by these bombers here. And now that we have anti-air turrets going up as well, we are going to start to see these bombers start to die. Like I said, that Arcanist anti-air is weak, but they're cheap and can make lots of them, especially when you're supported by these P-shields like this. Eventually, they start to stack up. In the early game, especially, when you're not sitting on 50 bombers, you're sitting on, what's that, not even 20, maybe 10? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know, 15, right in the middle of the two estimates there. We do have point defenses now going to come up, and without any radar coverage, this is going to be hard to deal with. They need line of sight. There we go. He's got radar from the commander. So he's going to be able to use the mobile missile launchers to get shots off on these point defenses. But we are going to see that they are going to struggle to kill them fast enough. The commander is sitting here. He's going to be able to heal these turrets up. He's building more factories. He's going to use the factory here to build a shield. I guarantee it. He's going to use the factory shield. Yep, going to heal that turret. Factory's going to immediately build the factory shield. Boom, there it is. And now, mobile missile launchers are going to struggle quite a bit more to deal with this, especially with the missiles coming in from the factories are going to break the P-shields, letting these bombers strike with some impunity. I'm going to do the same thing, another factory here, so he can, 1, get the shield, and 2, increase his fighter production. He's ahead on mass, and he knows it. Look at this, he's even gotten an engineer in here and captured one of the UEF mass extractors. Red Galaxy needs to do something pretty quickly, or this is going to be a short game. He's got these land forces here, and that's great, but these turrets protected by shields combined with the fighter support are going to make this a pretty hard push when your land forces are in such low numbers, and he hasn't been able to expand his production. He is still on the same amount of mass, energy, and factories that he was on just a little bit ago. He is going to produce in the middle here, again, so he can get shields and his own mobile, or his own factory missiles. Factory missile, incredibly annoying to deal with. It's just high enough damage to be irritating to anything static, so it can sit here and wail on these shields and contribute to getting these shields down so that the meteors can eventually take out these turrets. If the... Oh, what a shot here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 craters. That's probably about 9 units that went down in that one pass there. An engineer is going to go down. That's also pretty painful. Turrets getting free kills. These missiles are relentless, taking out the P-shields, making it incredibly easy for the Cyber Invader bombers to come in and do damage. That being said, though, he isn't being able to kill these factories, and Red Galaxy is going to find himself slowly at an advantage as the anti-air for the factories slowly comes online. The fighters are not in high enough numbers to be able to deal with that. This is shaping up to be a pretty awesome match. The poster did say... Excuse me. Oh, I had to sneeze. The poster did say that this was an intense game, and I'm starting to see why. Mobile missile launchers also coming up in pretty high numbers now, it seems, as I'm starting to see these turrets get taken out. Yep, there they go. Gunships are now out and about, though, and there is not a whole lot of response for these gunships, renegades, especially if they get upgrades, and it looks like they might have some on there. There's some pretty odd health numbers. 1885, I believe they got some points into the unit veterancy there. Renegades are going to be incredibly hard to deal with. Shields are not going to be enough, but the mass amount of factory AA and Arcanist spam, it seems, is because the fighter numbers have now dwindled significantly. They took this fight over top of the factories, and that was a mistake. He did not have the air numbers needed to take this, and he paid for it by losing his entire fighter screen. I think what I would like to see at this point is an expansion effort coming out from Red Galaxy. He needs to take these extra mass extractors and secure them, build a factory, or yep, and look, sure enough, there it goes. He's got an engineer going out, but build one air factory, right? Build one air factory, get some fighters out to deal with these gunships. You get some fighters out, hold 20 of them in reserve, right? You get to 20 fighters over a minute, hold them in reserve. Eventually, these gunships are going to take a dive on your units, and the fighters can sweep in and clean a lot of them up for free. Especially with the Cyber Commander going all air, you know he's not going to send his fighters in over top of your AA line anymore. These fighter bombers are actually pretty useless at this point because there's no enemy air. If you're going to use them at all, they need to be going into the back lines and bombing the enemy mass extractors. And saying that, I didn't even notice, but one engineer has not been addressed despite the fact that this commander went all air, didn't send anything to deal with the engineer that was capturing all of his backline mass extractors. And so now we are in the exact opposite situation. I kind of predicted this would be the case. Going for the commander dive here, but there's just not enough renegades here to break through all of these shields. Red Galaxy's just going to hide under the P shields, and the factory shields combined are going to be more than enough to keep him shielded here. And we see, I believe, a capitulation from Midnight. I don't believe he was being attacked there. Or maybe the mobile missiles launchers got him. Short and sweet match here. Pretty good play from Red Galaxy. I liked the early air play coming out of Midnight, but he just didn't harass in the way that he needed to. He killed these early engineers, And then he spent all of his effort trying to dive these shielded units here. He did not have the forces necessary to do that. If you're going to go with the air dive, you have to do it early. And if he was going to shut this down, he needed to be killing. He built these gunships. Should have gone gunships maybe a little bit sooner. You could have been killing engineers. You could have been in the back line killing these mass extractors. Hell, you could have been in the back line killing these factories, because the anti-air for the opponent was sent to the front line, meaning there was not a whole lot of defense at home. There was 0 turrets here for the red commander. Any backline harassment would have done wonders, I think, for the blue commander there, Mr. Midnight. But GG to Red Galaxy, and thank you for submitting this replay. I believe it was Red Galaxy who submitted it. Let me double check. Yes, Red Galaxy submitted this replay. Pretty nice game. Thank you, sir, so much for doing that. And guys, if you want to submit more replays, go on over to the Supreme Commander 2 official Discord and submit your replays for the casters to look at. And also, if you want more Supreme Commander 2 content, and also, frankly speaking, better content, if you're looking for pro gameplay and gameplay tips, go check out Alpha Hex on YouTube, link in the description, and go check out Steel Speaks for more casts of Supreme Commander 2 matches. He's been doing it for Supreme Commander 2 a lot longer than I have, and his content quality is pretty nice. So if you're looking for more SupCom, go check those guys out, and we will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.